was trying to pick out something as beautiful as you. I don't think I did you justice.
Okay. That's it. That's our show. I'm gonna go cry.
She started with nothing but a voice, a dream, and a small-town Texas spirit. Then one audition changed everything. 20-plus years later, Kelly Clarkson isn't just surviving. She's owning Las Vegas stages, sitting on a $50 million fortune, running her own record label, and still making headlines with her love life. From heartbreak to empire building, this is the full, unfiltered story of where Kelly Clarkson stands today, and trust us, it's a lot. The empire she has built, career and net worth. Let's start with the money because, honestly, it hits differently. Kelly Clarkson's estimated net worth in 2026 sits at around $50 million. And before you say only $50 million, let's talk about how diversified and bulletproof that fortune actually is. This isn't a one-trick pony situation. This is a woman who has built income streams so varied that even a total career pivot wouldn't shake her. Music laid the foundation. She sold over 25 million albums and more than 50 million singles worldwide. Numbers that still earn serious royalty checks long after the albums dropped. But music is almost a side hustle at this point compared to what television has done for her bank account. The Kelly Clarkson Show, her Emmy-winning daytime talk show, has been one of the highest-rated daytime programs since its 2019 launch. Multiple Emmy wins, including Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show Host. Season 7 is currently airing, and Kelly has confirmed that it will be her last season. The show will go out on a high, still Emmy-worthy, still one of the most watched daytime programs in America, and ending on Kelly's own terms, full stop. Then there's The Voice, where she became one of the show's most successful coaches, earning a reported $14 million per season across multiple seasons including 14, 15, 17, and 21. Let that number settle in. Brand partnerships with Wayfair and Citizen Watches add to the pile. A best-selling children's book series inspired by her daughter River Rose adds more. And then there's her newest venture, the one that shows she's not done swinging. In spring 2025, Kelly launched her own independent record label, High Road Records. In May 2025, she dropped her first independent single, Where Have You Been?, a genre-blending rock-pop R&B ballad that she debuted live at Rockefeller Plaza for the Today Show's City Concert Series. She also performed it during the finale of The Voice. It was a statement, a declaration of creative ownership that most artists her level rarely make. And if the record label and the talk show weren't enough, she's also running a Las Vegas residency, Kelly Clarkson Studio Sessions at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, with dates running all the way through August 2026. The first residency, Chemistry, an intimate evening with Kelly Clarkson in 2023 and 2024, grossed over $10.8 million across just 14 shows. The demand for studio sessions was so strong that Caesars added 10 additional 2026 dates. 10 additional dates. So yes, $50 million. But what's more impressive than the number is the architecture behind it. But money and career moves are only part of Kelly's story in 2026. What about the homes she's been quietly stacking up across the country? Because her real estate portfolio is a lot. The homes, a real estate portfolio that spans the nation. Kelly Clarkson is, by her own admission, a homebody, but a homebody with very expensive taste and apparently the purchasing power to match. Let's walk through it. Her heart belongs to Montana. Kelly has repeatedly called her sprawling Montana ranch her forever home, the place where she and her kids feel most like themselves, away from the cameras and the chaos. It's a $17.75 million property that became a legal battleground during her divorce from Brandon Blackstock, who contended it was jointly owned. A judge ruled it belonged solely to Kelly, though she agreed to give Blackstock 5% of its value, roughly $908,800, and she kept it. That ranch is her sanctuary. Then there's California. After selling her massive 20,121 square foot Nashville mansion for $6.3 million in 2021. That's 7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, a private dock, saltwater pool, and 2 spas. She turned around and picked up a $5.4 million home in the exclusive Toluca Lake area of Los Angeles. 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, traditional-style architecture built in 1936, an outdoor pool, tennis court, and a separate guest house. Charming by most people's standards, modest by Kelly Clarkson standards. Before that, she and Brandon had shared an 8-bedroom, 9-bathroom custom-built farmhouse in Encino, a modern architectural marvel with 3 kitchen islands, a La Cornue range, 2 dishwashers, a movie theater, a home gym, a 2-story guest house, and an outdoor pizza oven. That one was listed at nearly $10 million. And since The Kelly Clarkson Show moved production to New York City in 2023, Kelly has been renting in Manhattan, keeping herself close to work, while the Montana ranch remains her true home base. From Texas to Tennessee to California to New York, she has bought, sold, and traded her way through the American real estate map like someone who genuinely loves the process. And at every stop, the homes have been immaculate. But here's the thing, all these beautiful homes, all this success, and Kelly has been navigating it largely alone. Because the personal chapter she's been living through? It's been one of the most emotionally loaded of her entire life. So, where did it all go wrong? And why does it still hurt? The marriage, the divorce, and the heartbreak that shook her. Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock looked like one of those couples destined to last. She was America's sweetheart, the first American Idol winner who became one of the biggest stars in music without losing her relatability. He was a powerful Nashville music manager, respected, connected, and deeply rooted in the industry. Their story began in 2006 when they met during rehearsals for the Academy of Country Music Awards. Nothing romantic happened at first. Years passed, careers grew, and life moved forward. But after reconnecting, their relationship quickly became serious. Brandon proposed in December 2012, and less than a year later, in October 2013, they married in a beautiful Tennessee ceremony. For a time, it seemed like the fairy tale ending fans had always wanted for Kelly. The couple built a family together, welcoming daughter River Rose in June 2014 and son Remington Alexander in April 2016. Anyone who has followed Kelly knows her children are the center of her world. Whether in interviews, on social media, or during talk show conversations, she has always made it clear that motherhood is the role she treasures most. But behind the family photos and red carpet appearances, problems were quietly growing. Then came 2020. In June, Kelly filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. What followed was anything but a quiet celebrity breakup. The split evolved into a lengthy legal battle involving disputes over their Montana ranch, financial disagreements, and questions surrounding Brandon's role as Kelly's manager. Court hearings and legal filings kept the divorce in the headlines for years. By March 2022, the marriage was officially over. Emotionally, however, the story was far from finished. Kelly channeled much of that pain into Chemistry, the deeply personal album that explored heartbreak, anger, confusion, and eventual acceptance. The music became more than a creative project. It became a way to process one of the most difficult periods of her life. Then came another devastating twist. In August 2025, Brandon Blackstock died after a more than 3-year battle with melanoma. The news shocked fans. Despite everything they had endured, he was still the father of Kelly's children. Suddenly, years of legal disputes felt insignificant compared to the reality facing River and Remy. Kelly immediately stepped away from the spotlight to focus on helping her children navigate an unimaginable loss. When she returned to her talk show weeks later, viewers could sense a change. Opening with a powerful rendition of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights, she didn't need to explain what she was feeling. The performance spoke for itself. It was a reminder that beyond the fame and success, Kelly Clarkson is a mother first. A woman who spent years untangling herself from a broken marriage, only to watch the other person become part of the past forever. So after all of that, the marriage, the divorce, the courtroom battles, the heartbreak, and the grief, is Kelly Clarkson even open to love again? And who exactly is she right now before we talk about where she came from? From Burleson to Billboard, where it all began. Before the Grammys, before the talk show, before the Las Vegas residency and the $50 million, there was a little girl in Burleson, Texas, who just wanted to sing. Kelly Brianne Clarkson was born on April 24, 1982, in Fort Worth, Texas. She was the youngest of 3 children in a working-class family. Her parents, Jean Ann, a first-grade English teacher, and Stephen Michael Clarkson, a former engineer, divorced when Kelly was just 6 years old. That split sent shockwaves through her childhood that would echo in her music for decades. Kelly was raised primarily by her mother, and that early experience of loss and instability forged in her a self-reliance and emotional depth that would eventually make her one of the most compelling voices in American pop music. She was an unusual kid, drawn to writing, art, and marine biology, before a middle school choir teacher overheard her singing in the hallway and insisted she join the choir. That teacher had no idea what they had just unlocked. By the time Kelly graduated from Burleson High School in year 2000, she had the kind of raw talent that made people stop and stare. She was offered college scholarships, but turned them down. She packed up and moved to Los Angeles to chase music. What followed was a brutal reality check, failed demo deals, a fire that destroyed her apartment, a broke and discouraged Kelly moving back to Texas. But she didn't stop. She regrouped, she pushed forward, and in 2002, she walked into an audition for the inaugural season of American Idol. The rest of the world already knows what happened next. Her humble demeanor, no-filter charm, and once-in-a-generation voice made her the clear favorite. She won the competition. Her coronation single, A Moment Like This, debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 with one of the most dramatic single-week chart surges in the chart's history. In 2003, her debut album, Thankful, opened at #1. But it was 2004's Breakaway that cemented everything. Since You've Been Gone, Behind These Hazel Eyes, Because of You. Over 12 million copies sold worldwide, 2 Grammy Awards, and a new template for what a post-reality TV pop career could look like. She wasn't just an Idol winner. She was a legitimate, credible, generationally gifted artist. And she never let that foundation crack. But knowing where Kelly started only makes what she's built, and what she's been through, hit even harder. So after heartbreak, loss, and years of rebuilding, What does Kelly's personal life actually look like today, in 2026? Love in 2026, single, searching, and surprisingly chill about it. Everyone wants to know, is Kelly Clarkson in love? Short answer, not officially. But the longer answer is far more interesting. As of 2026, Kelly is single, and she's been refreshingly, almost defiantly honest about it. Back in May 2025, during an appearance on Today with Jenna and Friends, she told Jenna Bush Hager that she was neither actively looking for a relationship nor completely ruling one out, explaining that she was very busy. She laughed about it, but her honesty resonated with viewers. As a single mother of two, she said her children's schedules were even busier than her own, adding that she spent her time rushing from her show to baseball practice and simply trying to be present for her family. Her kids, River Rose and Remington Alexander, have made their feelings about their mother dating very clear. In November 2024, Kelly revealed on KOS 103.5 that they constantly brought the subject up, not to encourage her to date, but to discourage her from seeing anyone else. According to Kelly, her children repeatedly pleaded with her not to be with another partner. She responded by telling them that while she loved them very much, she also needed love and affection in her own life. Only Kelly Clarkson could share a moment like that on live radio and make it both hilarious and heartwarming. In January 2026, performing at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions Celebrity Golf Tournament in Florida, she introduced her 2009 hit, My Life Would Suck Without You, with a wry one-liner. This next song, hopefully you're in a relationship where your life would suck without them. I am not. Here we go. The crowd went wild. Because that's Kelly, she takes the thing that should be sad and somehow makes it a moment. There was speculation earlier in 2025 about a connection with British singer Seal after a notably warm appearance together on her talk show in 2023. Reports of a private dinner in late 2025 added fuel to the fire. Neither confirmed anything, and both have since kept quiet, which is very on-brand for Kelly, who guards her private life fiercely, even as she jokes about it publicly. What's clear is this: Kelly Clarkson is not desperate. She's not spiraling. She is a woman who went through one of the messiest, most public divorces in recent entertainment history, mourned the unexpected death of her ex-husband, raised two kids largely on her own through all of it, and came out the other side with her humor and her dignity fully intact. She wants love. She's open to it, but she's not willing to settle for anything less than something real. And while her love life may still be a work in progress, her artistic life in 2026, that part is firing on all cylinders. So what does Kelly Clarkson's comeback era actually look like? And is this the best chapter yet? The comeback era, High Road Records, Las Vegas, and a new chapter. Here's the thing about Kelly Clarkson's 2025 to 2026 era. It doesn't look like a comeback because she never actually left. But it does look like a woman who woke up one morning and decided firmly that she was done playing by other people's rules. Launching High Road Records in spring 2025 was the first major signal. After more than 2 decades of being signed to major labels, navigating label politics, creative conflicts, the specific exhaustion of being a powerful woman in an industry built to manage rather than empower, Kelly went independent. She owns her label. She controls her releases. The debut single, Where Have You Been, dropped in May 2025 and landed like a statement. Sultry, genre-blending, rock-pop R&B, and entirely unbothered by expectations. Then there's the Las Vegas residency, which has taken on its own mythology. Kelly Clarkson studio sessions at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, one of the most prestigious residency venues on Earth, the same stage that housed Celine Dion and Elton John, kicked off in July 2025. The show pulls from her entire catalog: Stronger, Breakaway, Since You've Been Gone, Piece by Piece, newer tracks like Mine and Where Have You Been. And every single night, she performs a different Kelly cover live with her full band: Radiohead's Creep, Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, Maneskin's Beggin'. Past sellouts and overwhelming demand led Caesars to add 10 extra 2026 dates, running through August 15th. The residency's predecessor, Chemistry, An Intimate Evening with Kelly Clarkson, grossed over $10.8 million across just 14 shows. Studio Sessions is operating at a whole different scale. She also expanded her TV footprint in 2025 with Songs and Stories with Kelly Clarkson, a primetime NBC spin-off pairing raw live musical performances with intimate conversations, the kind of format that suits her perfectly, because Kelly Clarkson has always been at her best when the cameras roll and she just talks. And though Season 7 of The Kelly Clarkson Show will be its last, it goes out on a high, still Emmy-worthy, still one of the most watched daytime programs in America, and ending on Kelly's own terms. That part matters enormously to her. The woman entering the second half of 2026 is not the girl who lost everything in a Los Angeles apartment fire and caught a Greyhound back to Texas. She is a 3-time Grammy winner, an Emmy-winning host, a Las Vegas headliner, an independent label owner, a best-selling author, and a mother of 2. She is, by every metric, one of the most enduring and multidimensional entertainers of her generation. So after the Empire, the Heartbreak, the Homes, the hit records, and the hard-won reinvention, what's the one thing that has never changed about Kelly Clarkson? That's exactly what we're going to leave you with. Through every divorce headline, every career pivot, every luxury home buy and sell, every viral Kelly moment, Kelly Clarkson has remained the same person she was when she walked nervously into that American Idol audition in 2002, raw, real, and completely unafraid to feel things in public. That authenticity is the whole empire. And honestly, we're not even close to finishing watching her build it. If you made it this far, you clearly love a good story, and we've got plenty more where that came from. So hit subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't miss it.